guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing really well, and this is your African World Cup qualifiers match day 1 review, where we got to know a lot about some of the teams who underperformed, who overperformed. Keep your eyes peeled as we're going to talk about all of that in this video. And also, if you like the video, please do like and share the video, and if you like my videos in general, please subscribe to the channel as well. Leave me your opinions in the comments. And starting off, we had Equatorial Guinea taking on Namibia at home in Equatorial Guinea. And in most typical Equatorial Guinea fashion, they won 1-0. They scored, and then after that, they played the most meanest low block ever. Otherwise, I don't think there was much quality in the game, to be honest. Equatorial Guinea, I thought, was slightly better, but Namibia were in the game always. And I think they did give themselves a good chance of getting something in the game. But Equatorial Guinea found that extra bit of win, and they got that victory. Big win for Equatorial Guinea. Important win to start well in the competition, where I think they are kind of expected to finish second in this group. Moving on, we had Rwanda taking on Zimbabwe, and it ends 0-0. I don't think this result really helps anyone. Neither does it help Rwanda, neither does it help Zimbabwe. But Zimbabwe are back, and they have some quality players, and they showed that against Nigeria on match day 2. We'll be talking about match day 2 later on. But I thought it was a decent performance in Zimbabwe. They came back. They didn't have much time, and I think Rwanda, if you look at the performances, have been quite good in general. So I thought it was I'm not surprised with the result. I thought it was 0-0. Moving on, we had DRC taking on Mauritania, 2-0 to DR Congo. They are back on track. Looked like a very good start, and it was genuinely a very good performance at home. They are a different caliber side when they play at home. You can see in their play, you can see in the fans' intensity. I remember the African last qualifier when they played, I can't remember, it was Sudan or someone, but the stadium was jam-packed. It was probably the best crowd I've seen in a long time. Passion, everything was brilliant. Anyway, they beat Mauritania 2-0. Visa scored, and I thought DRC were quite decent. I thought they were a level above Mauritania in this one. Of course, DR Congo then did lose to Sudan. We'll talk about that one later on. So I think it's a mixed bag, to be honest. I think before the Africa Cup of Nations, but I thought, if I talk about this game just against Mauritania, I thought it was a good performance. They played well. They played with passion. They played with fight, and it gave them literally the perfect start. I thought Mauritania will be a decent challenge for them, because Mauritania showed in African qualifiers that they are a good team. And they had, I think it was the Comorian coach who was at the Africa Cup of Nations in 2022. And I thought they did try and give more of a fight, but you just knew DRC were on another level. Moving on, we had Ethiopia take on Sierra Leone. Another result that doesn't really help either. Ethiopia 0, Sierra Leone 0. This game was in Morocco. In fact, and it was 0-0. Pretty boring game to watch. Nothing really happened, to be honest. Moving on, we have Botswana taking on Mozambique. Botswana, I think, would be impressed. I thought they did well in this game against Mozambique. They scored 2 goals. They made life difficult for Mozambique. Mozambique, with the quality, came through this one. It was some nice goal for Mozambique. But I am very impressed with Botswana's fight. I think they showed some good quality. But Mozambique are improving, and you could see in their play, they're improving fast. They played some lovely football. In this game also, they played some lovely football, which got them the all-important 3 points, which is so important if you're wanting to do well in these African World Cup qualifiers, because if I'm looking at Mozambique, they have a good chance. If I watch their game, if I watch Guinea's game, if I watch their game against Algeria, they are a good team, so I definitely do think they got a good chance of finishing second here. But defensively, I think continuing to against Botswana, is that a great start? Probably not, but as the campaign goes on, I do expect Mozambique to be defensively much more tighter, but they never, even in African qualifiers, they never... AFCON qualifiers, they weren't defensively solid, but they like to play good football. They score a lot of goals. Moving on, this was a massive shock in Tanzania, as in Dar es Salaam, Burundi beat the Gambia. This is a massive shock, but I had the feeling, I told you guys, Burundi are not a bad team, and they showed that against the Gambia. Brilliant performance from Burundi. They got the first goal. They kept on playing with the same intensity, and they made it 2-0. Gambia got one back. Like Gambia's going to come back into this, but Burundi stayed solid defensively and then got a third, but from there was a mountain to climb for the Gambia, and this is a massive drop point for Gambia, because Burundi, I thought it was a must-win type of game for Gambia. Burundi were fantastic, but I thought Gambia had more quality, and this has been my main issue with Tim Sanford. He's a good coach, he's done very well with this Gambia team, but the thing is, he plays such a defensive system, when this squad, I feel like he's outgrown him. Most of these players should be playing a better brand of football for the Gambia. Yes, they might even perform well at the Africa Cup of Nations, but it just feels incomplete. It just feels like these guys can play something better. Burundi, like I said, impressive performances. They beat Namibia. They were close to beating Cameroon. I thought against Cameroon, if that defender did not make that mistake, and early in the second half, Cameroon was scared. Cameroon, that they were scared. Because the way Burundi were playing was brilliant. Onana was making save after save after save in that game. So Burundi just really, really unlucky. But they started the campaign off on the right footing here against Gambia. Very, very good stuff to see. And I'm really, really impressed with how this Burundi team is playing. Let's see how they do in the next qualifiers. They lost to Gabon, which was a big loss. But it happens. It is still an inconsistent side. And I think Gabon, they know the local qualifiers are very important for them because they already failed to make the Africa Cup of Nations. Anyway, talk about Gabon. Gabon played Kenya and it was 2-1. Very tight game. Kenya actually took the lead in this one. And I was like, Gabon, what's wrong? But Gabon came back, got 2 goals. No Aubameyang in the team, but no problems. They got the 3 points, which is huge in this group. Now with the Gambia dropping points, Gabon have full advantage in this group. And I think they're in a very good position here to qualify. To be honest, in second position. But it's still a long group stage. Very long group stage coming up, so anything can happen. Gambia could beat them. Burundi, I think, can go away to Gabon and also can get a result. So nothing sorted yet in this group. Moving over, this was a massive shock. Disappointing to say the least. Nigeria drew at home to 153rd ranked side Lesotho. I am baffled. Honestly. At home, everything's going for you. And you drew at home to Lesotho. It's just not good enough. It's completely unacceptable. If I'm a Nigerian fan, I'm disappointed in that performance. They didn't even have to fight. I don't know what they were trying to do. It was just very, very lethargic, very boring. Midfield, like I said, I've been screaming about this issue. They haven't got midfielders to control games, to able to create chances. And if you don't have a midfield, your strikers become practically useless because they won't get a service that they need. And this game showed it. Lesotho were brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And they got the goal in the second half through a set piece. And I was like, Lesotho, they can do this, you know. But then Nigeria did get one back. I think it was the defender as well. But genuinely, very, very poor performance. Lesotho, it didn't feel like Nigeria were dominating that game. That's the worst thing. And after that, they drew it to Zimbabwe as well. So their campaign is in already big trouble now. I think the way Ivory Coast are going, the way Guinea-Bissau are going, I think who else is in Nigeria's group? Let me search it up. I think it's actually quite a tough group. But it's definitely Ivory Coast and Guinea-Bissau. I remember that much. I can't remember the third team. Nigeria. Equatorial Guinea, yeah, another tough tie that is. So Nigeria are in big trouble with their scheduling. And if I'm Joseph Pesaro, I am worried with how this team is playing. Very, very worried. No fight, no energy, no idea. Just, I don't know what they're trying to do. It's really wise football. For a team that has so much quality, it should be doing so much more better. And credit to Lesotho. Fantastic display from them. Shame they couldn't get the 3 points, to be honest. But Nigeria, no words. Just really, really plain, ordinary, bad performance. Moving over, we had Algeria take on Somalia. Another top African side who I thought underperformed in this game. Really, really poor performance, to be honest, from Algeria. I know they scored 3 goals. I know they won the game 3-1, but Somalia gave them a tough time. Even after Algeria scored 2 goals. I think Somalia hit the post. I think Mandre, the goalkeeper, made some very good saves. And Somalia got the goal. It was 2-1. And anything could have happened at 2-1. Somalia could have got another one with the way Algeria were going. And Algeria, this is not a good sign before an AFCON, where they need to perform. Because the last 2, I think, AFCON they messed up. The World Cup qualifiers they messed up. And the way they were playing was highly unconvincing, to be honest to me. Very unconvincing. No, I think this could be another Nigeria type of situation. If a individual does something, great. But otherwise, seems pretty clueless. And Belmadi, not impressed. Now, they did beat Senegal. But Senegal had a lot of chances. And another day, if Mandre does not have that performance, Senegal win that game. So, if I'm an Algerian fan, I'm asking a lot of questions. Credit to Somalia though. Really, really well played. They were fantastic. They got a goal. They created chances. They defended really, really solidly. Shame they couldn't get more. But I definitely do think Somalia will be able to get some points in this group. Moving over, we had Cape Verde take on Angola. Big game for both, and both really messed up. I thought Angola, if I'm looking from Angola's perspective, away from home, decent result. Cape Verde at home, I think they would have wanted victory, but it was a dull game. I don't think both played it quite safe. Both was a bit scared to take the risk. understandably so, to be honest. But I think this gives Cameroon the massive initiative here in this group. Moving on, we had Egypt take on Djibouti 6-0. What can you say? Djibouti probably one of the worst African sides here. Egypt one of the best. I think under Rivera they're going to be doing some really good stuff at AFCON. Moving on, we had Sudan take on Togo in Libya. It's 1-1. Togo versus Sudan. I don't think this result really helped anyone, to be honest. I thought it would be better performance from, of course, Togo, but not to be. I thought Sudan played with a lot more fight than they showed in the last 2 games in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. So good to see that Sudan, with the situation going on inside their country, have had a good start so far to this qualification campaign. 4 points. So good stuff from them. Togo, disappointing. Meanwhile, we had Guinea taking on Uganda. Guinea winning right at the death. I thought Uganda played really well. Unlucky not to get a victory. Guinea, though, disappointing. Disappointing again. Very lucky to get a victory, in my opinion. Libya beating Eswatini. I think that's pretty soft standard and expectation. It was in South Africa. Guinea played in Morocco. Just a really, really poor game between Eswatini and Libya. Libya win. Liberia lose at home to Malawi. Malawi win. Good result for Malawi. But I think Malawi's work is cut out in this group. It's going to be a tough group for them. Another disappointing performance from Chris Hughton's side. I thought Chris Hughton was sacked. I think that's what said. But no, he was on the touchline and it was a win. But a really, really poor performance. Madagascar really, really unlucky not to get a point. They didn't do anything wrong throughout the game. Ghana didn't do anything. Bored me to death. Horrible performance. Inaki saves Chris Hughton. At least till Comoros. And the way Comoros played in that game against Central African Republic was brilliant. Comoros Islands was Central African Republic. I was expecting a Central African win. But Comoros played so well. Brilliant. Some of the football they played was brilliant. Yeah, defensively they were left exposed at times. But some of the football they played was outstanding. Outstanding to say the least. Moving on, we had Zambia take on Congo. Zambia, another side that's really, really impressing me at the moment. Playing some lovely football. Avram Grant, credit to him. He's doing a fantastic job over there, in my opinion. And I thought Congo, they fought hard, but the quality gap between the two just came through. And after that, Congo's players have gone on strike. 6 of them have said they're not going to play with the national team. So, African football for you in a nutshell. Not going well there, is it? Cote d'Ivoire made a big statement. They just went hammers and tongs at seashells. Gasset, I think, played like 5 attackers, 3 defenders, and 3 midfielders. Easy win for Ivory Coast. Scored 9. Mali was a Chad. Highly unconvincing performance from Mali. 3-1 it ended in the end, but Chad were in it for most of it. And I think that will worry Mali. That was genuinely a very poor performance. I expected a better performance from Mali. But they got the victory. So let's see what they do in the next game, which is a challenge. I think Central African Republic would definitely be challenging them, in my opinion. Tunisia versus Saint Thomas and Principe. I thought the scoreline would be higher, but Jalal Kadri is not someone that's going to play champagne football, is he? So 4-0, not bad. Let's see how Tunisia versus Equatorial Guinea goes, because that's the real test for Tunisia in this group. I think they should be fine with the way Equatorial Guinea played, but they just don't feel convincing to me. I don't know why. But they won 4-0. Cameroon beat Mauritius 3-0. It took them almost, I think, the end of the first half to score the first goal. And I made my opinion really, really clear about Rigobert Song. Not convinced, and I think they are going to be in big trouble in that group they got at Africa Cup of Nations. Guinea, Gambia will definitely be challenging them. Senegal are big favourites of Cameroon, in my opinion. But they won at home against Mauritius. They got the 3 points, which was needed based on the other results. I think Cameroon will be happy. And another shock, another disappointing performance from Burkina Faso as they drew away to a very improving Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau are going to cause a problem in this group. Burkina Faso, I thought Burkina Faso would at least get second easily, but they're not. No way. That was a very good performance from Guinea-Bissau, the way they defended. I thought the attack lacked quality at times, but the way they defended, they found the quality, made it 1-0. Burkina got one back, Bertrand Traore got one back, but Burkina couldn't get a second. And now Burkina Faso dropping points at home against Guinea-Bissau. I think it's a really, really bad footing to start on firstly for Burkina. And their work is cut out, to be honest, in this group. And it's a shame because Burkina Faso, this has been coming for a while. Their performances have not been convincing. And now I think more and more people realize that Burkina Faso could be a bit overrated. I think most people look at their 2022 performance at the Africa Cup of Nations. That was fantastic. But after that, it feels a lot to be desired about. Loads to be desired about. Anyway, we got South Africa take on Benin. Big win for South Africa. They won 2-1 here. Hugo Bruce's side played some lovely football in the first half, caused all sorts of problems for Benin, and they were 2-0 up. Paris Tau, South Africa looked good, and they looked organised. Typical Hugo Bruce side. And in the second half, I thought they let the foot of the accelerator, but Benin allowed Benin to come back in, and Benin did get a goal back. Munia got one back, but grown up draw with his Benin side just doesn't feel right. And it ends 2-1 to South Africa. They got a great start ahead. Next they got Rwanda. I think if they win now with the Nigeria result, I think we might have a chance here, South Africa. You might have a good chance. Moving over here, Tanzania take on Niger. Tanzania winning in Morocco, Marrakesh against Niger. Good result for Tanzania. But that group is really, really difficult for them. You got Morocco, you got an informed Zambia, you got Congo, Brazzaville. So let's see what they can do. Final game of this round was, of course, Senegal taking on South Sudan. And it was in very convincing fashion, 4-0 victory for Senegal. Aloy Cisse actually played a pretty strong lineup for this game. I think except it was Nico Jackson didn't start for them. But otherwise it was a pretty strong lineup for them. Koulibaly was playing, Mendy was playing. But Senegal, 4-0 against South Sudan. I thought South Sudan, they conceded really, really early in the game. But I thought South Sudan actually did well throughout the game. It just felt like if they didn't concede early in the game, I definitely think South Sudan would have gave much more tough fight to Senegal. But Senegal up and running. And if I look at the group standings right now, and I think there's one game going on as we speak as well, so we'll speak about that as well. Of course, Guinea-Bissau take on Djibouti. Guinea-Bissau are 1-0 up. So Guinea-Bissau going with 4 points. Burkina Faso outside the playoff place. They're on 3rd. Egypt have won both of their games. They're on 6th. Looking very nice in that group. Surprise leaders in Group B for now, but Senegal do have a game in hand. Sudan are leading that group. Senegal in 2nd. DR Congo lost away to Sudan. Big result there. South Africa at the moment are top of the group. Nigeria are 2nd, but their results are not good. They are 1 point behind, and they have played in a game in extra. Need a favour from Rwanda here, Zimbabwe, do Nigeria. Not good enough, to be honest. But South Africa, I think, looking very decent there. Group D, Cameroon started well. Cameroon got the win. So did Libya. So those two are the top 2. Angola and Cape Verde in 3rd and 4th. Group B at the moment, it is Zambia is the top. Morocco haven't started their campaign yet. Group F, Gabon have played 2 games on 6. Big test for every coast coming up as they go away to wounded Gambia. Group G, Algeria on 6. Even if the performance wasn't convincing again, I'll talk about that in Matchday 2's review. They're on 6. Mozambique lost to Algeria, unlucky. Tunisia, Equatorial Guinea, of course, I think that's pretty much expected. And Group I, surprise leaders Comoros. And let's see what they can do against Ghana, but I'm really, really impressed with this Comoros inside. And let's see what happens. Anyway, this was your African World Cup qualifiers match day 1 review. If you like the video, please do like and share the video. If you like my videos in general, please subscribe. Leave me your opinions in the comments. And I hope to see you again later for another video.